Hello, everyone. Welcome to yoga and how to modify it to match what you feel like doing each day, perhaps what your body's able to do, finding ways to alternate or substitute altogether. So go ahead and come into a seated position. If you are more comfortable on a chair, please sit there, perhaps even use blocks to place them under your feet, allow yourself to ground a little bit easier. This is Stretch. He sometimes joins me for yoga classes. So let's go ahead and get started. In your comfortable position, just feel your sits bones underneath you, pressing into the floor. Perhaps you have a blanket underneath you. Even if you're seated in a chair, a blanket can be comfortable. And let's close down our eyes and begin to focus on our breath. Just kind of watching what it's doing at first, and then maybe trying to change it, alter it in some way. Perhaps let the next inhale roll in a little more deeply. Good. Today's pranayama practice or breath work is a pretty simple one. It's called the pause breath. You can place your pause in between your inhale and exhale. You could place it after your exhale and before your next inhale. You could do it sometimes and not do it other times. You could hold it for different lengths of time. Just holding your breath, not letting the breath come in or out, yet always staying 100% comfortable. You can begin this breath as you're ready, kind of letting your creativity, your mind relax in the pattern of breath that you're establishing. And let's add a mantra to our breath work today. As we breathe in, we'll say breathing in. As we pause, we'll say to ourselves in our head, pause. And as we exhale, we'll say to ourselves, breathing out. So we'll say breathing in, pause, breathing out. Keep this up for a few rounds. Try it on for size. If it doesn't work for you, set it aside and do what does work for you. Take 2 to 3 more pause breaths. And as you begin your next inhale, start to wiggle your fingers. Let's all start to stretch out our legs straight out in front of us so we can wiggle our toes. You can use your palms to hold yourself up still. Maybe use your fingertips. Whatever's comfortable for you, that's the key. Let's turn our palms up, and on the next inhale, whether we're seated in a chair or on the floor, let's lift our arms out and up overhead. And on the exhale, we'll flip the palms and start to lower the hands and arms out and down. And let's keep moving with our own breath, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. See if you can take the entire length of your inhale to lift and the entire length of the exhale to lower. And the next time your arms are down by your side, you can go ahead and leave them there. And we'll prop ourselves up, bend up through each knee, and let's windshield wiper the knees from left to right. We can wiggle our toes here if that works. We can wiggle our fingers again if that works. We're going to make our way to supine, lying down on the mat. If you would rather go from the chair to lying down in your bed, please do that. If you have a couch you can lie on to do these poses, that works as well. So let's first stretch out long on the mat. Let's take a full body stretch on the next inhale, lifting our arms up and back behind our head, reaching our fingertips for the wall behind us, reaching our toes for the wall in front of us. And on the next exhale, bring your arms back down by your side and walk both feet up onto the mat, bending your knees to the sky. Bring one knee in at a time, or go ahead and bring both knees in together towards the chest as you pick your feet up off the mat. Wrap your arms around your legs, or let the hands hold the backs of the legs as you make yourself into a little bit of a ball. It doesn't matter how lifted your feet are. The heels can be far away from your hips, or heels can be close to hips. So once you're in a comfortable spot, see if it feels okay to start to rock from left to right. So you can begin to let your feet and your knees go one direction, and then your head and your arms can kind of follow. Your chest is following your hips. You're going back and forth here. This is giving your back a little bit of a massage. It's also massaging your organs as you draw your thighs toward the chest and abdomen. Let's come back to center if you were rocking left to right, and we'll release our feet down to the floor. So both knees are bent to the sky. We'll press through all four corners of both feet. Then just press into the left foot as you lift your right foot up away from the floor. Bend your knee out to the side and rest your heel or ankle on the top of the left knee. Let's take our right palm and press it away. Kind of figure out where your foot needs to be. I like mine a little lower on the thigh, actually. We can press, kind of letting our knee flutter, or we can keep constant pressure, keeping the thigh and the knee away from us. Another option is to lift that left foot off the mat, interlace our hands back behind the left thigh, or hold on to the left leg. We can reach our arms around the top if we want. And again, it doesn't matter if the left leg is bent or straight. Take a few breaths more here in piriformis stretch. Next, we'll move from this shape just slightly. Let your legs start to come away from your body. The left foot plants itself on the floor again. Shift your knees over to the left so that the right foot comes down onto the floor as it's still crossing over the left leg. Inhale your arms out wide like wings or into cactus arms. Opening the chest. The chest is square to the ceiling. The shoulders are both flat on the floor. And if you'd like, you can turn your chin to the left. Sorry, to the right. Knees are to the left, my bad. Take 2 to 3 breaths here. Let your next inhale bring your chin back up straight towards the sky. We can uncross that right foot and lift the left leg. And let's go ahead and windshield wiper in between here. Shoulders stay still, just the knees, the hips, feet are moving, legs. Let your next inhale bring the knees back up to the ceiling. And this time we'll press into all 4 corners of both feet and then just into the right foot as we lift the left foot and draw the left knee out to the side. Bring our ankle or heel somewhere on top of the right leg. We can take our right palm and begin pushing this away, feeling that stretch. Maybe moving our heel closer to our hip or farther away. You can make all kinds of adjustments to help this shape work for you. And then pressing with that left hand against the left knee, the left thigh, wherever it works to feel a stretch here. You can keep doing this, or you can lift that right foot right up off the mat, interlace your hands or hold on behind the right thigh and draw both legs into you. Remember that right knee can be straight or bent, making this shape comfortable for you wherever you are in your legs' ability to flex, your body's ability to balance, your body's strength. All of these things have an impact. Take 2 to 3 more breaths here. Good. On your next exhale, we'll let our right foot float down to the floor. We'll come into the twist, both knees release over to the right. That left shoulder stays grounded. Inhale the arms up into cactus arms or wide like wings, broadening the collarbone. And taking a few breaths here. Perhaps moving your chin to the left. Now, on your next inhale, center your chin back over your sternum. You can uncross the left leg and lift the right so that you're on both feet again, knees bent to the sky. Let's straighten our legs here next. We're going to take another full body stretch, inhaling the arms both up and back. From here, we'll walk both hands and feet over to the left side of the mat and maybe even onto the floor as we open the right side rib cage from our hip to right torso, basically, from our hip to our rib cage. Place the right hand palm on top of the left and cross your right ankle on top of your left if that's comfortable for you. Take a few deep breaths into the open right side of the rib cage. Nice. On the next exhale, walk hands and feet back to center, and then keep going right on over to the right side of the mat. This time we change hands. Left hand palm is on top of the right, left ankle crosses over right. And we want to come into a banana shape. This time that left shoulder is super grounded. Taking some breaths here. Keeping the body relaxed, opened. And then we'll walk our hands and feet back to center. Let's release our arms back down by our side. We'll walk onto both feet again, the soles of both feet, bending our knees to the sky. From here, we'll roll over onto one side, just like we might when we're sleeping. Bent knees to help it make it easier to get up. Let's place that top hand on the floor in front of us or on our mat. We'll extend our top leg long. Inhale, press down through that hand so you can prop yourself up on an elbow. Then prop yourself up on your hand and arms as you bring your upper body to seated. We'll sit up nice and tall wherever we happen to be seated. You can do this next set of poses, butterfly, half straddle in the chair. I can show those after I show them seated. So first we'll come into seated butterfly on the mat. We've lined up our feet, toes to heels, and our knees are out to the side. We can grab our blocks, hopefully always within arm's reach of us, and place those gently under the knees as we relax the legs and open them out and down. If we're in a chair, we want to move our hips up away from the back of the chair. Bring our feet together. Hold on to the bottom of the chair or any of the sections of the chair that you might be able to reach. Feet and heels, toes are lined up, same. Knees are reaching out to the side, and this is opening your hips, no matter how you're seated here. I'll stay here as we move into half straddle. From a chair, we'll release one leg out to the side and stay here. We really won't come into a hamstring stretch unless you feel comfortable holding on with one hand and maybe reaching with the other. See how it feels to turn your chest as you move. Beep, beep. Good boy. So from a seated position on the floor, we'll move from our butterfly to half straddle. So I'm going to keep one block under a knee, under this knee. I can move and adjust my heel closer to or farther away from my hips. We're going to press through this straight leg, through the heel of the straight leg, not minding if our knee stays a little bit bent. We can turn our chest toward our leg and stay here, propping ourselves up, taking some breaths. Or if we feel strong enough to be able to release our chest forward and down, holding, supporting our upper body with our arms and hands, we can do that. Feeling the stretch in the back of the leg here. Let's reach the same hand, same arm right along that leg and turn our chest towards the bent knee. Now inhale to come up away from the leg. We'll reach the free hand out and up on the next inhale, and we'll come into a lateral stretch with this exhale. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to release the arm down. Opposite hand goes over to the knee for a gentle twist here. You can move your head to the back. You don't have to. Take 2 breaths. And on the next exhale, release. Head, neck, and chest come forward, centered, and we'll switch our half straddle to the opposite side. Maybe propping that bent knee up, pressing through the extended leg heel. Maybe we can straighten this knee, maybe we can't. We'll turn towards the legs, sit up nice and tall on the next inhale, and walk our hands or slide them forward next exhale till we get a nice stretch in the hamstring. You could stand with your body toward the chair, lift your leg, straighten your knee, place the foot on the seat of the chair and come forward to be able to stretch your hamstring. Same arm, same leg stays there as we turn our chest towards the bent knee. An inhale brings us up away from that leg. Free hand, inhale, arm comes out and up. Exhale, laterally stretch here. Open the rib cage. Inhale to come back up, straight up and down. Exhale releases the arm. Opposite hand goes to the other knee for a gentle twist on this side. Take a few breaths here. And then next exhale releases the body. Head, neck, and chest come forward. And let's move from this position to a kneeling position, if that works for you. Any way you can get up off of the floor or come to standing if you were seated on the chair. Let's start our standing section with tree pose, with a balance pose. And we can hold on to a wall, turning to the side, kind of watching or listening to the cues from there. You could stand next to a chair, letting yourself hold on to the back for some support. Come to a stance with your feet hip distance apart. Head stacked on shoulders, shoulders stacked on hips, hips stacked on feet. And let's bend through the left knee, the side that's away from your chair. If that's different than the left, go ahead and give yourself some room by letting the standing leg be right next to the chair. And we'll start by toe tapping, lifting and lowering the toes. Now, if we're not using any kind of support device, we can toe tap away from support and flatten the foot. We should do this no matter where we are. Try to get our foot and leg to help support our body with a balance pose. When you're ready, with the knee first forward, bring it out to the side. You can place your foot on the floor, bring the heel in, or keep your foot lifted and bring that foot onto the lower part of the leg. Place your foot anywhere but on the knee. Don't have your heel on your knee or toes on your knee. You can use your hand to bring the heel all the way to the inner thigh. Your arms can stay low by your sides, at your waist, at your heart. You can lift one arm and stay holding on to your support without lifting that arm, or holding onto the wall perhaps. So find your tree pose. however you want to express it today. If you've fallen out, you can shake your legs and go back into the stance, into the posture. See if you can lengthen through your spine in that standing leg, through the arms if they're lifted. And then as you're ready to release, slowly lowering the arms, slowly lowering the leg, shaking the leg out. A way to do tree seated is to extend one leg and bend the other out, just like you did, but just one knee at a time, the way I modeled seated butterfly. Go ahead and start preparing for tree on the other side. We'll start in mountain pose. We want to lean into our right leg. I don't know, actually. Let's not do right and left. Let's toe tap opposite foot, lifting and lowering that knee. That was our standing leg before. When we're ready, we'll draw that knee out to the side, toes pointing out to the side. We can draw the heel in if we're able to come to a balanced position here. If not, we can keep the toes planted and stay here. This is a nice tree pose. It's giving you the same benefits as any other shape. You're still able to find your length and work on your strength and work on your balance wherever you are. You can hold this pose as long as you'd like and then release your arms on an exhale. Release your leg on an exhale, and let's shake the legs out. Nice. Next, we'll come into chair pose. I'll model holding onto a chair. As we exhale, we'll bend our knees, sinking our hips back and down. Let's press all four corners of each foot into the floor. And when we're ready to release, we'll inhale, straighten the legs, and come back up to standing. We can use the support of the back of the chair or the wall here. And we can sink into our chair 2 more times. Hands can stay low. It's a challenge to bring your hands to your heart or straight out shoulder height or even above. Coming out of the pose when you're ready rather than when I cue is very important, right? Making yoga your own, helping yourself practice at a level that's good for your body. And when you're ready to inhale, you can straighten your knees. And from there, let's come to the top of your mat. So now from mountain pose, either holding on to the chair, a wall, or perhaps balancing on your own, we'll step the right foot back. We'll take maybe 1 or 2 steps. We'll turn our right toes to the diagonal. Our left toes are facing the short edge of the mat. We're coming into hero 1. So pressing down, grounding through both feet, front knee bent, but not coming any more forward than your heel. Stretching the back leg to just get enough of a stretch there, and then leaving the hands by your side or lifting one or both up. As far as you can lift them, not minding wherever it is that you end up, still working to hold up the weight of the arms here. And now let the exhale release your arms. They come down by your sides. Now let's press into the right heel to turn the toes just a little bit if you need to bring your legs together, and then step that right foot back. to form your hero two legs, that's fine too. Set yourself up so that you're sturdy. Notice the change in the direction of the hips. With this left knee, we're trying to drive it out and forward as much as we can. And that's going to tighten these muscles right here. We're firm in our core. We're holding our head and shoulders up high. And as you inhale, we'll lift the arms to parallel if that works for you, one in front, one behind. And we'll try to stretch our fingers away from our shoulders. Nice. Finding the strength in this pose. As you exhale, we'll lower the arms slowly down. Let's straighten the left knee. We'll press into the left heel, pick up the toes, turn the foot so that we orient the left foot just like the right foot. And now we're in a wide angle pose. Let's inhale, lifting the arms out and up. As we exhale, let's keep a flat back. So I'm going to pull my head, neck, and chest forward as I bring my hands down right in front of my heart. Now we'll bend our knees, reach our hands down to the floor, then we'll straighten our knees, staying in this wide angle here, maybe even using a block. We could even put the chair right in front of us here and place our hands palms down on the seat. Whatever works for your body. From here, leave your left hand on the floor or on the prop, and on the next inhale, we'll lift the right arm out and up, reaching the back of the hand back behind us to open up the chest here. Exhale, lower that right hand and arm. Right hand replaces left, and on the next inhale, we'll lift this arm up and out and back, exhaling to release. From here, you have a choice to walk the feet together or heel toe step the feet together, what works, and then come up through that forward fold with a flat back, or you can come up first out of your forward fold and then come out of the wide angle pose. All right, let's move back to the top of the mat for our hero one to hero two on the opposite side. So standing in mountain pose again, we'll step our left foot back this time, finding that diagonal with our hips still facing forward, bending the right knee, pressing all four corners of the feet into the mat. Then as you're ready, we can lift the arms a little or a lot and take a few breaths, finding the extension from the feet up through the body, creating space. And on the next exhale, lower your arms down by your side. Again, we'll press into that heel to lift the toes, to modify the left foot just a little bit. This time, right knee is bent, and we're orienting the knee towards the smaller toes here. Hips are at a diagonal now. Arms can be down by our side, at our hips or waist, or we can lift them parallel to the ground once again. Looking forward over that right arm and hand, creating space in the body here. Nice. One more breath here. And we'll let the next exhale release our arms slowly down by our sides. We'll straighten that right knee. We'll press into the right heel, lift the toes, orient them forward. And we're going to come into mountain first. Now our legs are together, right? In mountain, hip distance apart. We'll inhale the arms out and up. As we exhale, let's nose dive forward fold. We'll bend our elbows, bend our knees, send our head, neck, and chest forward. Keep a flat back. Bend the knees enough to reach down to the seat of the chair you might be using, if that's what you're lowering onto, or onto a block, or it's all the way to the floor. Again, we'll leave the left hand where it is. We'll inhale, swooping rather, the right arm out and up. Back of the hand helps to open the chest here. Exhale to release. That right arm comes down. Now it's steadying you. Swoop the left arm out and up, turning your chest. It might help to bend your left knee when your right arm swoops up, and opposite also. So try those again with a bent knee and see how that changes how much you're able to open your chest up and send the back of the hand back behind you. As you're ready to stand, we'll come out of the forward fold using a flat back, pressing down through the feet, lifting up through the body, and then coming back into our mountain pose. All right, great. From here, let's head down to the mat, and we'll come into table pose. We haven't done that yet today, and I'd like to get some cat-cows in before we come back into our seated shape. So as you come down to the mat, come onto all fours, check your alignment. You want your joints to be stacked on top of each other for stability. We'll begin to draw our navel as we drop our head and tailbone, draw up our navel as we drop our head and tailbone to come into cat, and then release the navel, lifting the head and tailbone to come into cow. And let's go back and forth a few times. And on the next inhale, bring your spine to neutral. From here, let's press into our right knee, if that's available for you to do, and we'll lift our left knee up off the mat any amount. We can bring the knee hip height or the knee anywhere between hip height and the mat. So, and we can keep our leg lifted in this right angle, or we can lower it, kind of tuck it into our chest, maybe even bring our nose to our knee as we round our spine. And then we'll extend the head, crown of the head rather, long. So we're trying to reach the head and the knee in different directions to create space in the body, the lifted knee, that is. So try a few more of these. If you're seated, you can lift your knee towards your nose and do this from a seated position in a chair. We'll release the left foot and let's switch to the right side. So leaning into that left knee, we'll lift the right knee up and back. The foot comes above the hips, perhaps, perhaps not. And then we'll curl the knee in towards the chest, rounding the spine. So these are like cat cows, but they're a little more challenging, right? Lifting and lowering the leg here. And the next time your right knee is right next to the left, let's go ahead and leave it there. We're going to come into puppy dog from here, or child's pose. In puppy dog, we leave the hips up over the knees. The knees stay rather hip distance apart. And we're going to lay our chest forward and down with our arms extended above our head. If it's possible for you to bring your hips down to your heels, you can come into a closed-kneed child's pose or an open-kneed child's pose. Taking a few breaths here. And on the next inhale, let's come back up to our table and we'll make our way into a seated position now. And I'm going to actually sit on a chair to show you some seated sun salutations again. I wanted to bring these back in this last class of the semester just to give you a little more practice doing this type of flow so that if you can remember it and do it on your own, when you don't have yoga class with me scheduled, then you'll have a little something you can do. So we'll inhale, lifting the arms out and up overhead. And then we'll exhale, bringing our hands to our heart. We're going to slow this down today. Let's inhale, lifting the arms into a V. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, come into cow, letting your arms reach back behind you, arching the back. Now come into cat. Hands come forward, shoulder height till palms touch, and we'll tuck our chin here. Now we'll inhale and we'll sit up nice and straight and tall with our arms stretched out, shoulder height. Exhale, release the body forward into a forward fold, pressing down through the feet. Inhale, lift up halfway. Hands come to legs, maybe to thighs here since we're seated. Exhale, releases into the forward fold again. Inhale, we'll come back up into that neutral position. The best way to do this is to press down through all four corners of both feet and lift the upper body up along with the arms. Good. From here, we'll come into a twist. On the next exhale, let your right arm drop down towards your hip and then flip the palm as you lift that arm and hand up and back. Inhale to come, back to center or neutral. Exhale, swoops into the twist on the opposite side. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, back to neutral. Arms come up overhead. We'll exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do that twice more now. Releasing our arms down by our side. Inhaling the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms come up into a V, or you can lift them as high as you're able. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, coming to neutral here. I'm sorry. Inhale, let's go into cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to neutral. Now we'll do the forward fold. Exhaling, releasing forward and down. Inhaling, come halfway up. Exhale, release forward and down again. Inhale, come up to neutral, arms at shoulder height. Exhale, we're going to come into the twist on one side, doesn't matter which one. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist opposite side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, one knee comes in towards the chest. Inhale, back. Exhale, opposite knee. Inhale, neutral. Exhale. Oops, I forgot to inhale the arms up. Exhale, releases the arms down. That's the awkward part of this one is you're exhaling for the last knee to the chest. Inhale, release it, lift the arms. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Let's practice that one more time. Arms by your side. We'll inhale a sun breath. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms go up into a V. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, lift your head, arms and chest. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale to center. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, arms raise as the foot lowers. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. At this point, let's make our way down to the mat. If you would like to stay in your chair, we're gonna bring our knees to our chest, which you can do one knee at a time. You won't be able to rock. You'll be able to find a twist using the back of the chair. And then we'll do a student choice. So kind of pick what position you might be most comfortable in. We'll place our blanket to the side so that as we come down to the mat, supine, we won't have anything under our head just yet. Stretch and I have a disagreement over who owns this blanket, but that's okay. All right, so from here, knees bent to the sky, arms drawn alongside your body or out wide like wings. Let's windshield wiper the knees from left to right as you're ready, and just moving at your own pace. If you're moving a little slow today, that's all right. Just like if you want to move a little quicker, that's okay too. Now, the next time the knees are up towards the sky, we'll draw our arms alongside our body, both feet flat on the floor, our elbows tucked into our waist. We'll press down on our hands and feet and peel our hips and spine up off the mat. We'll exhale to release. An inhale lifts, and an exhale releases. An inhale lifts, and one last exhale to release. Let's come up next into a supported bridge. We'll bring the block either to its lowest level with a nice surface area here for the sacrum to lie on, or we can bring it to the middle level. I've yet to meet someone really comfortable at the high level of the block, but you never know. Give it a try. Just don't do anything that's too unusual in terms of your daily routine otherwise. So you want to set the block underneath you so that you're elevating your hips. So you're peeling your hips up to put the block under, and then you're setting your sacrum right in the middle of whatever space you have here, whatever your prop might be. From here, we can keep our knees bent, or we can straighten one leg and keep one knee bent and then switch up to alternate which leg we straighten. We might feel comfortable straightening both legs. Up to you. Arms can be at your sides or on your torso. And you might be just kind of staring up at the ceiling, taking a breath here. Two to three more breaths in this supported bridge. And as you inhale next, walk each foot up onto the mat, bending your knees to the sky. Draw your arms back alongside your body, press down on both palms and the feet. Lift the hips up, and then take one hand to reach underneath and grab that block out so you can replace your hips back down on the mat. Let's draw both knees into the chest. We're going to wrap our arms around the tops of our legs or underneath the backs of the legs, and we'll rock from side to side here. And the next time your knees and chest are back up towards the sky, we'll let our feet float down to the mat and we'll find ourselves a twist. Maybe it's a one legged twist with the left knee reaching up and over to the right, or maybe it's a two legged twist, both knees reaching over to the right. So you're lifting the left hip off the mat, but not the left shoulder. You're keeping your shoulders and arms grounded. And maybe we can turn our chin away from our bent knees, or maybe rock it both ways toward the bent knees and then away. Maybe not staying in stillness here if we still feel like moving. Maybe using this as a more restorative pose and coming to some stillness in this twist. 2 to 3 more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, we'll lift our chin towards the sky, lift our knees, maybe straighten one knee or both knees. Take a little mini break here before coming into the twist on the opposite side. Maybe you stay with the one legged twist if that's what you did before. Maybe you stay with the two legged. Maybe you switch it up, do different things on different sides. And that could accommodate some knee issues or hip issues. Remember to keep both shoulders grounded. And you can move your chin from left to right. 2 to 3 more breaths here. And now on the next inhale, let's move our chin back to center. We'll orient our knees back over our body and let our feet float down to the mat. And let's find student choice pose from here. This is the time you can listen to your body and do what it wants you to do. Maybe a hamstring stretch, wide angle pose, a yoga walk, happy baby, maybe some more knees to chest and rocking, maybe some more windshield wipers, maybe knee circles, twist on each side again. Whatever direction your body is calling you to go. Take 2 to 3 more breaths with whatever you're doing. And then next, let's make our way into a comfortable Shavasana shape. Let's place a blanket behind the head or underneath the hips if we're seated in a chair. We can put blocks under our feet. Knees can be bent or straight. Arms along the side of the body or on top of the torso. Close down the eyes and continue to watch the body grow heavier as it settles here. And now let's all tune into our breath. See if we can start to slow our breathing down here, elongating each inhale and exhale. Perhaps using a mantra, breathing in as we inhale, breathing out as we exhale. And maybe just alternating, breathing in, breathing out with our inhales and exhales, keeping that mantra going as a way to stay focused. Feeling comfortable enough in your yoga practice to do the things that interest you, that you like, and don't worry about the rest. Take 2 to 3 more breaths here. And now gently begin to rock your chin from left to right. If you were doing this before, your neck might feel fairly loose still. We'll bring our chin back to center and let's bend up through both knees, bringing our feet onto the floor. Let's roll over now onto one side and we'll press down with that top hand and lift our upper body, head, neck, and chest up away from the floor once we get our hands and arms both underneath us. If you're seated in a chair, come to a comfortable position, pressing into the sits bones no matter where you're sitting. Legs in any shape or position. Arms can release down by your side. On the next inhale, let's lift our arms out and up over our head. We'll bring our palms together. And as we exhale, hands come down to the heart. We'll close our eyes, tuck our chin, bowing to the divine inside of us. The light in me honors the light in each of you. On your next inhale, we can lift our chin, bringing it parallel to the floor. We can release our hands, flutter open our eyes. And thank you all so much for joining Stretch and I for yoga practice. We'll see you next time, I hope. Take care meanwhile.